Hi Gill, really great session on Monday, really good to get started. Main points from the session, obviously with the place where we're at the moment with your golf game, obviously you're still fairly new to it. So the setup needed a bit of a tweak just to make it a little bit more functional. And then obviously with the golf swing, it was all to do with learning to control where the club hits the floor. And in some cases just making sure that the club hit the floor, and once you started doing that we started to see a considerable improvement, a bit more height, a lot more distance through the air, and obviously more total distance as well. If we just have a look at the left hand side here, just have a look at your setup. We talked about trying to get the arms so they were almost straight. If you look at Justin Rose here in the middle, you can see right arm perfectly straight, left arm perfectly straight. This makes it a lot easier to get the club down to the ground. As soon as the arms are straight, that increases your chances of actually hitting the ground. So that's always a good start. If you have a look on the right hand side here, this is a little bit later on. Straight and straight. One thing I would say is we did talk about maybe just pushing the hands forward a little bit. So we just get the club a little bit more like this. So it's leaning forward. You can see with Justin Rose here, we've got the hands slightly ahead, not a lot, but they're slightly ahead of the club, just to make it, again, make it a little bit easier to hit down into the ball. We'll just have a quick look at the golf swing. We talked about one or two things. We talked about obviously trying to keep your head still and how we were going to do that. We did a lot of practice with the cane next to your head. Obviously a bit of a deterrent. Obviously I'm not going to hit you with it, but you know, just give you a feel of keeping away from that club really helped. So if we just quickly just go through this, you can see how the arms are obviously in a very relaxed position. And we talked about obviously if you play any sport and you're stood there and you're very relaxed and you're not really ready to hit the shot, there's going to be no real effort involved in the golf. At the end of the day, the golf swing is an athletic move, you know, it's a power move. You've got to try and be nice and aggressive with it. Sorry about that. If we just take back, so yeah, we know we talked about one or two things here. Upper body just moving to the right a little bit, and how that encouraged a low point that was behind the golf ball here. So that just means you're going to hit the ground before the ball more often, obviously resulting in, you know, inconsistent golf shots. But the main point we really looked at was this one here. So as we come down into the ground, obviously, like I said, we're not really hitting down into the ground enough, and if we just have a look at impact here, you see how your elbows pull apart even further than they were at setup. So as soon as the elbows pull apart, the club head comes away from the ground. Even, you know, we're only talking an inch or so, but it's enough. And obviously as we come through, we're sort of hitting halfway up the ball. There's no loft on the golf shot, no height, no carry. So the ball doesn't carry very far through the air. If we just have a look in the middle here, Justin Rose. He's a great example of this. We get to the top of the backswing, you can see how the upper body stayed very still. And then and we talked about moving down and forward. So we moved towards the target and then down into the ground there. So if we just take back that to the moment of impact, you see hands forward and arms very, very straight. Just compare the two positions here. See, arms are very, very straight. Let's get back to that position. There we go. And as you can see here, arms very, very bent, pulling the club head away from the ground, making it very, very difficult. This is a little bit later on. This is one of your practice swings, but I was really impressed with this one. So you see there's absolutely, virtually no body movement to the side, much better. And then just swing down and through. Look at that position there. Comparison. I know there's no golf ball there. If we just compare those two positions, massive difference. I'm really, really happy with this. And obviously, as we swing through, really feels like you're going to swing the club towards the target. Really extend the arms out. You can see that difference there. Absolutely huge. Best of luck with it, Joe, and I'll see you during our next session. If you've got any questions, you know where to find me. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.